My name is Tony Wong, and I'm a member of the Rosemead Tenants Union. And first, the reason why I'm here is because recently the landlords of Park Monterey, a trailer park that's been facing a lot of abuses from their landlords, have just received a letter from the HCD that their permit was going to be suspended around July. And at the same time this is happening, the landlords of Park Monterey are also handing out eviction notices to the tenants, in which they want to withdraw their units from the rental market. However, despite all this stuff happening, I want to emphasize here that the reason why this is happening is because there are people in the city council, people here to recognize that there are people here in the city council that are complicit in displacing families of the trailer parks. And the main form that this happened was the Garvey Avenue Specific Plan. So city council members took part in making the Garvey Avenue Specific Plan, which proposes the displacement of 2 trailer parks. The trailer park facing eviction, Park Monterey, has been rezoned to encourage mixed-use development in the Garvey Avenue Specific Plan, while at the same time, in the Garvey Avenue Specific Plan, city council members made an entire diagram over here, figure 4.7, which proposes the displacement of Paradise Trailer Park with major commercial spaces, mixed-use housing, and townhouses as well. And it's also worth noting that the Garvey Avenue Specific Plan was approved back in 2018. What happened during that time was that exactly 1 year after the Garvey Avenue Specific Plan was passed, one of the landlords of Paradise Trailer Park actually gave Stephen Lee $5,000 when the Garvey Avenue Specific Plan began development in 2014. Stephen Lee took around $1,500 from the landlords of Park Monterey. And at the same time, you have other city council members like Holly Lowe taking around another $1,500 from Hawaiian Supermarket, the landlord of Park Monterey, back in 2019, 1 year after gas was made. You also have Sean Dang in 2019 also taking $1,500 from Sunny Chen, business owner and part of St. Garvey Investments, the landlord of Paradise Trailer Park as well. And I also want to recall that Sean Dang also mentioned that when he wanted to redevelop Garvey Avenue where the trailer parks line, he mentioned that there's nothing there. But I want to reiterate that there's a community that exists in Garvey Avenue that's being threatened by this place that you're complicit in. At the same time, we're not gonna ignore all the corruption that's happening in City Council at the moment because of all this stuff happening as well. So with all this happening, I want to challenge you guys to show that there is no conflict of interest by at least doing the bare minimum of encouraging or even sending a letter to the landlord of Park Monterey to tell them that to stop all these health code violations, because what you have right there is that when the cleanup crews improperly dispose of the empty trailers, garbage is littered everywhere, rent increases is going through the roof, and also sewage running down the streets as well, while units are flooding during rainy days. Thank you.
Thank you.
Whether that was sourcing legal advice and lawyers, holding a press conference, and now we're here to ask you to help us hold these landlords accountable. So please, if you care about inclusive housing and building or protecting housing that considers all income levels, you'll help protect these trailer parks and all other low income housing communities. Economic development is good, as in for generating revenue and whatnot, but it's possible to do so without displacing residents. And that would be through capping rent increases, and there are tons of other methods. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Mars.
Hello. I'm David Mars, M-A-R-R-S. I've been a resident here for 38 years, and what I've seen since the new owners bought this park is unconditionally and undeniably unrespected, and had so many complaints over the years, not one of them taken into effect. City doesn't want to get involved, state doesn't want to do nothing, complaints just get overlooked. Nothing ever gets taken in consideration. Currently, there's also development next door to the property there, which I live in Park Monterey, but next door they built that 63 condos in Monterey Park. They had development done in 2016. They had the foundation, everything done, all the road groundwork, everything done to it. Then they turned around and they didn't do no more work. Lo and behold, they came back a few years back to start development. They didn't have an environmental impact report for that development because they said that the dirt was not going to be affecting the residents in anywhere, way, shape, or form. But needless to say, the city on their own behalf turned around and started doing the development. Let's dig the entire thing out, which is like 2 football fields. Dig the entire thing out for underground parking on their own behalf without the EPA involvement. Now, for me to, let's say you, these bulldozers are right there for years with dirt coming over. I have hundreds of videos and hundreds of videos sent them to EPA, sent them everywhere. Nothing's ever got done. Management was aware. They said they got lawyers that were going to take care of them, take action. They never did anything. They just procrastinate, and nothing until this day still hasn't gotten done. They said they did something. I went down to Pasadena Superior. They did not do nothing. Why? Because obviously they're involved in development also. So therefore, they didn't care about what we had to go through. Now, we had to breathe that stuff for years, and not only that, but ever since they've been owners of the said property where I live at now, they have not maintained, not one time. They fixed electricity, Mickey Mouse, but never permanent power the way it was supposed to be. But yet we're getting charged on our bill. Let's say $250 some odd dollars, let's say $100 extra right off the bat for deliveries charge. Edison said that they would not take that as a delivery charge for temporary status for that they placed in place. So we're getting billed as if it's coming from Edison, when in fact the owner of the property is taking it. For me, that's a federal offense. Not for 6 years or 7 years, but 8 years of doing this.
Thank you, Mr. Mars. Next, I have Keith McPhail.